Okay, first up we have the flight control system. This is a very good flight control system for its money. I bought it for $125, but you can get the exact same thing from Hobby King for about $75. Well, Hobby King claims that it's the exact same thing, so yeah, I recommend getting the one from Hobby King, not the one that I got. The one from Hobby King it doesn't come in a case like this, so don't expect it to look the same. Also, I'll do another video on how to program these for your flight, so don't get too nervous about doing that because I'll show you later. Next we have the frame. This is the Hobby King X650F. This is a good frame. It's fully upgradable into FPV because the stands are high off the ground, as you can see here. It holds it high off the ground for your camera to go underneath. One thing about this stand is that its weak spot is here. It's pretty strong everywhere else but here. So I recommend reinforcing it with something when you're building it. I reinforced mine with heat shrink. Heat shrink works well over this. You just slip it onto the thing there, and it shrink it on, and it works well. So yeah, that's the frame. And also about the frame, I'll be doing a later video on how to put it together. Okay, this is the transmitter and receiver. This is the Turnigy 9X transmitter and receiver. It's a good transmitter for its price. It's $50, and it's got 8 channels, which is very good for its price actually. I don't think there's any other transmitters for that price range or that budget with that many channels, and more channels the better. Basically, like, you can do more things with more channels. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. Many people use it, so yeah. Next we have the battery. This is a 3300 MHz Turnigy nano-tech battery. It's 4 cell. It's got a 25 to 50 C discharge rate. This is a good battery. My previous build had a 2200 MHz battery, but that wasn't lasting long enough for its flight. Like, its flight times weren't long enough, so I've upgraded to a bigger battery, but it also weighs a lot more, so that's a downside. So if you want a lighter battery, go with a smaller one for short flights. I recommend a smaller one, like a 2200 MHz. To go with the flight control system, I've got the GPS I bought this from Hobby King. This is a good GPS. It's pretty accurate outdoors, but most GPSs aren't good indoors, so you can expect some interference. This GPS will unlock a lot of features on your flight control system, like hold position, return to land, those sort of things. So it opens up a lot of automatic flight options on your flight control system. Also, to help you with your flight control system, this is optional, and so is the GPS. This is optional. I've got the an FPV 433 MHz radio telemetry kit. So this is so your flight control system can communicate with the computer. So this plugs into your computer. You have your antennas screwed onto here, and you can basically, instead of using your transmitter, you can just fly it from your computer, which is a pretty good feature, I think. I don't know what you guys think, but I consider it a pretty good feature. Next we have the ESCs. You get 4 of these for your build, but I'm just going to show you one. These are 30 amp ESCs. These are recommended for these are brushless ESCs for brushless motors. You're using brushless motors on this build. I'll show you those next. But these ESCs are 30 amp and they're suited for the motors, so I recommend getting these if you're getting the same motors as me. You get 4 of these motors. They also come with these nuts and bolts and screws to put your propellers on. The 2 downsides to these, they have very long cords, which I found a bit annoying on my last build, but you may not, so yeah. Also underneath, to attach this to your frame, you're going to need to go and buy some screws yourself. Now, I'll just grab those. These are screws I bought from my local hardware store. I had to cut them and shave them down to screw them in because they're a bit long. But yeah, these are the right size for this to fit onto your frame. So yeah, you're going to need to buy additional screws for that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, these are 520 kilovolt motors. So if you think of like motors in cars, how they have horsepower, the kilovolts is sort of like horsepower on these, and these have low kilovoltage, so they're more powerful motors, but they don't rotate, or they're not as fast as some other high voltage ones. So these are normally used with bigger propellers, and I've got bigger propellers for these. My propellers are 12 by 4.5 inch propellers. These are reasonably big. You can go for smaller ones, but they're not as efficient as these, so I'd recommend these ones. For powering your control board, your flight control system, you're going to need this, which is basically a power cable for your board. It also features a monitor to monitor your volts coming from your battery, so it can detect a low battery. This also comes with XT60 connectors. So to connect your battery to this, you're going to need, you'll notice this is an XT60, so you're also going to need to buy these XT60 connectors. I'm going to do another video on soldering these to your battery, so yeah, just look out for any other videos coming up. So to connect your power module to your battery, you're going to have to solder on some new XT60 connectors instead of this connector, which I don't know what it is. So that's that. And back to the basics, you're going to need zip ties and thread lock. Thread lock's very important, especially when you're connecting your motors to your frame. You don't want your motors coming off in mid-flight or anything, because that'll basically guarantee a crash. So I recommend using thread lock, and your zip ties, just to neaten everything up on your build. You don't want any cables going into your propellers in mid-flight either. To connect your flight control system with your receiver, you've got these connector pins. These are male-to-male connector pins. They come in a set of 10, so you only really need to buy one set. These just plug into your receiver, and then they plug into the side where it says inputs. I'll do a more detailed video on putting it all together when we start putting all these parts together later. So that's that, and that's about it for. Oh, and if you want to do later flights, which I assume you will, you won't want to just fly it once. You're going to need a charger for your battery. I've gone with the Turnigy XL6. This is it's a discharge charger, as well as a balanced charger and a normal charger. The thing about this is you have to power it. You have to connect it to things like a battery, or you can buy from your local electrical store. You can buy a connector for your power point. You can buy a connector to connect into that, but it only comes with something to connect it to your car battery or things like that to power it. So, which is okay if you go out to the field or something and you only have your car with you. But yeah, that's the charger, and that is about it. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll be posting more later about putting it all together and programming it. And yeah, just note that I am new to RC, so if you've got any tips for me, just leave